Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We're 2 weeks from the start of a new school year and the preparation work continues. Fargo schools are still looking to fill multiple special education positions. The district says that the positions will be filled by the time school starts.
Some parents aren't so sure, though. Valley News Team's education reporter Veronica Marshall talks with concerned local parents about what will happen to their children if the teachers can't be found.
I love working with the kids, and I usually found that I could engage them quite readily.
Karen Nichols started off as a general education teacher, but once she started teaching special education, she stayed with it for more than 20 years.
I just saw my students grow and blossom and make progress, and that's what inspired me.
But there's a shortage of special education teachers like Nicole, and it's affecting local school districts and families.
At least right now we have between 5 to 7 openings.
It's concerning. We don't have enough resources as it is for the kids. I've seen that with my son. I know many other parents who have seen that with their children as well in the district.
They'll continue to fall behind, not only behind in their academics, but also behind in their ability to cope with being at school and being around other people.
Still, Fargo Schools says staffing its special education department won't be a problem.
It's not easy. I will say that's a tough area to fill, but we've been very fortunate. And we have always been able to find those folks.
Fargo says it is a close relationship with local colleges. That way it can bring graduates straight into the district. But national studies find teacher prep programs are seeing a decline in enrollment, especially in key shortage areas like special education. Nicole has hopes that more will follow in her footsteps.
There is nothing more rewarding than having a career that has a lifelong impact, and I would just encourage anyone who has a calling towards special education to please pursue that career.
But as it stands now, parents are left waiting and worrying if there are more teachers like Nicole around the corner or if their children will be left behind. Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Fargo school officials say in a worst-case scenario, the district's special education resources will be reallocated. But parent advocates say instead the district should look into partnering with outside agencies that already have special education staff on hand.
North Dakota's health department says it has received 19 applications to open medical marijuana dispensaries. 11 of the applications are from Fargo, 8 are from the Bismarck-Mandan area. Health officials expect to select the dispensaries around September 21st, and the plan is to have the businesses open by mid-2019. Voters legalized medical marijuana in North Dakota in 2016. The health department designated 8 zone areas across the state where the dispensaries can operate, and the application process is being staggered.
Do what you can to stay cool this weekend. We are looking at a couple more days of 90s. Hutch, along with the heat, more hazy skies?
That looks to be the case. Air quality out there quite poor for many who have respiratory illness. You'll want to be a little bit careful. In fact, maybe even staying indoors, not a bad idea. Smoke actually showing up on the visible satellite imagery. Hardly anything in the way of clouds across our region today. There is that air quality alert for the entire state of Minnesota. It's now in effect until Sunday morning, folks. Temperatures still in the 70s for many here in the valley. As we head to bed tonight, we will slip into the 60s, a light south breeze. And that's where we start our weekend off. The hot weather will continue. I'll have details on how warm we get as we could be challenging some record highs here across the valley through the weekend. Details in a few moments.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
This past year, we've reported on several assaults on area police officers. We wanted to know why more people seem to be challenging police authority. Most people we talked to said they comply with officers if something comes up. Some say there's a lack of trust between people and law enforcement. We also spoke with an ex-convict who says that not complying is more of a younger generation trend, but it's also the bad eggs in police uniforms that ruin the reputation for everyone else.
The ones that abuse the power give police the bad name and put us on edge, and vice versa.
Honestly, it comes to distrust in the system. There's a lot of people, I think, who are realizing that there's an imbalance of equality when it comes to law enforcement in a lot of cases.
We did check with Fargo and West Fargo police departments. They weren't able to give exact numbers of how many people have resisted arrest over the past few months.
A North Dakota man serving life in prison for a killing on the Spirit Lake Indian Reservation 2 years ago has lost his appeal. Dallas Thundershield of Fort Totten was convicted of fatally stabbing a 52-year-old man in April of 2016 and critically injuring another man. Thundershield appealed, arguing that evidence in the case was insufficient and that the district court made a mistake by allowing evidence of a prior conviction into tribal court. Appeals court judges rejected the arguments, saying in part that the evidence against Thundershield was overwhelming on all counts.
This week's Valley's Most Wanted is a 33-year-old woman. Her name is Angelique Duncan. Police say she's wanted for failure to appear and for failing the 24/7 program. You can call your local law enforcement agency if you have any information on Duncan.
One semi-driver was ticketed after rear-ending another semi near Valley City. The crash happened last night when one semi, driven by 52-year-old Raymond Hilgers, merged into the right lane of eastbound I-94 from the shoulder. That's when the other semi, driven by 21-year-old Jacob Spare, rear-ended Hilgers' trailer. Both drivers are expected to be okay. After the collision, the lane was closed for about 45 minutes while vehicles were removed. Spare was cited for following too close.
The hot temperatures we're experiencing bring to light the dangers of leaving children in hot cars. EMTs say it may be fine for an adult to sit in a hot car for 5 minutes, but that's dangerous for a kid. Children's bodies heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults, which puts them at a much higher risk for heat exhaustion, stroke, or even death. The most important step to avoid heat stroke is to simply get out of the heat, get into a cool place, and drink plenty of water.
If you're looking to pamper yourself this weekend, we have some at-home beauty remedies you might want to try. Some ripe bananas, avocado, and honey could be the perfect combination for a soothing face mask. But you can also make a mask using olive oil, cinnamon, and other ingredients. Or how about creating your own essential oil roller and room spray? All you need is your favorite essential oil and sweet almond oil. For more on how to make your own at-home beauty products, visit our website and click on this story.
Still to come tonight, using your cell phone during dinner isn't just rude. Apparently, it's making you unhappy, too.
And the first app to get approved as so-called birth control in Europe has now been given the green light in the U.S. The controversy behind it, up next.